For 3,000 years, the constitutional legitimacy of Jewish law, the Oral Torah, relied on a single mechanism. It required an unbroken, meticulously verified chain of human transmission, secured by national consensus at every step. The peak of this intellectual tradition emerged in 12th century Andalusia, in the city of Córdoba. Its ultimate inheritor was Moses Maimonides. He received the law directly from his father, Rabbi Maimon the judge, who was himself a primary disciple of the towering legal authority, Rabbi Yosef Halevi ibn Migash. This chart maps his lineage. Maimonides was the son of Rabbi Maimon, tracing back through 7 generations of Cordoban judges to Rabbi Obadiah. This documentation provides the legal qualification to validate his standing, proving his placement in that 3,000-year chain. This verifiable pedigree made Maimonides the living embodiment of the objective legal tradition at the moment it faced total erasure. In 1148, the Almohad invasion swept through southern Spain. They forced the Jewish population to convert or flee, shattering the Andalusi Golden Age and threatening the survival of the ancient legal texts. The Maimon family fled across the Mediterranean. They sought refuge first in Fez, Morocco, before undertaking a harrowing maritime journey that finally brought them to the port city of Acre. Even amidst the violence of the Crusader era, Maimonides made a defiant pilgrimage to Jerusalem, ascending the Temple Mount to pray at the very center of his historical tradition. The family ultimately moved south, seeking permanent safety in the thriving Jewish community of Fustat, Egypt. In theory, the ancestral chain of objective law remained intact. In physical reality, the diaspora was severely fractured, scattered across hostile borders and fighting for basic survival. In Egypt, Maimonides established himself as a polymath with a formidable command of multiple disciplines. We can see his deep integration into the scientific community in documents like this Arabic anatomical diagram of the eye, which reflects his absolute mastery of the highly sophisticated Greco-Arabic medical tradition. His medical approach relied heavily on observation and evidence, prioritizing preventative measures like diet, clean air, physical moderation, and emotional balance over superstition. This rigorous discipline in the empirical sciences instilled in him an uncompromising standard for evidence, a physical logic that would become essential when he turned his attention to analyzing ancient legal texts. With his authority established, he addressed a final threat to the tradition. Centuries of exile had scattered Jewish communities from Spain to Babylon. With the nation fractured across different continents and living under foreign rule, maintaining a unified legal system was becoming nearly impossible. The masses were slowly losing their grip on their own jurisprudence. Only a tiny, highly educated elite could navigate these labyrinthine arguments to figure out the actual operative law. The 3,000-year constitutional legacy of the Jewish nation was at serious risk of splintering into 1,000 contradictory local customs. When the Mishneh Torah was published, the global reaction was immediate. Jewish communities across the diaspora eagerly embraced the code because it democratized the law, giving ordinary people direct access to their own rights and obligations. It requires immense intellectual bandwidth to systematically organize the physical laws of an entire civilization. At the exact same time, he was composing his philosophical masterpiece, The Guide for the Perplexed. In it, he brought his demand for absolute rational order to the study of theology, physics, and the cosmos itself. His unique genius was the ability to look at the staggering complexity of both the physical and metaphysical worlds and synthesize them into a single, cohesive, objective truth. His medical expertise earned him elite political access, eventually elevating him to serve as a physician for high-ranking Ayyubid officials in the court of Sultan Saladin. Yet his royal appointments did not detach him from his community. We know the full extent of his grassroots dedication from a famous letter he wrote in 1199 to his translator, Samuel ibn Tibbon. Maimonides describes a grueling daily schedule. After attending the Sultan in Cairo, he would return to Fustat exhausted, only to find his antechamber overflowing with a mix of Jews, Gentiles, nobles, and commoners, all waiting for his medical care. This staggering combination of intellectual brilliance and relentless public service led to his recognition as the Rais al-Yahud, the head of the Jews. This was an official state position with absolute geopolitical authority, granting him the power to issue binding communal decrees. He fortified this dynasty by passing his dual devotion to his son, Rabbi Abraham Maimonides, who would later treat the sick alongside his Muslim contemporaries at the state-run Al-Nasiri Hospital. These dual roles as the court's leading medical scientist and the community's political leader provided Maimonides with the rare credibility required to scrutinize the legal record with empirical precision.